Hey everyone, this is Christopher Luxon, the former CEO of Air New Zealand.
This is John Lee Dumas, the founder and host of Entrepreneurs on Fire.
This is Tracy Ibarra. I'm in Executive Solutions at Dell Technologies.
This is Travis Chappell, founder of Build Your Network. If you are wanting to learn how to embrace change,
To navigate through disruption as a leader,
Then listen to the Leadership is Changing podcast.
The Leadership is Changing podcast.
the Leadership is Changing podcast with my good friend,
my very good friend, Denis Giannoutsos.
Welcome to Leadership is Changing. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change. This is taking your leadership to another level by finding the balance between executive excellence and personal well-being through stories that inspire real change. It's time to adapt in our fast-moving world when leadership is changing with your host, Denis Giannoutsos.
Hey, welcome to the show, Leadership is Changing. What we as leaders know to be true is that change is constant. Leaders everywhere confront similar obstacles because people are people, but everywhere you go, leaders are overwhelmed, disrupted, and under pressure. They run from email to email, meeting to meeting. Many leaders are not changing quick enough, which means they run the risk of becoming irrelevant and being left behind. The purpose of the show is taking our listeners' leadership to another level by finding their balance between executive excellence and personal well-being through stories that inspire real change. I believe we don't have enough effective leaders in the world today, and if we can get the leaders to step up and lead change, then they can inspire real change. Hey listeners, it's now time to adapt in our fast-moving world, and I want to welcome you to the Ask Denis episode, which is a freestyle episode where I'm asked a question by our listeners, or I share my thoughts, insights, and experiences from working with many leaders around the globe. Hey listeners, want to sort of remind you about the Facebook group, Leadership is Changing. If you haven't already checked that one out, go ahead and do that. That's the Facebook group. Go and check that out. It's a great community where we have people talking about the different topics within Leadership is Changing. Hey, just wanted to say to you all, happy holiday season to you and your loved ones. And I know for a lot of you, it's a little bit of a different year of a holiday season for Christmas and so forth, and into the new year. Different in the way that, of course, you are now not doing things as normal, and you haven't had a Christmas like this at all, and you're sitting at home, and you're locked at home and not able to do a lot of things with other family members and friends as well, which is putting a lot of struggle for a lot of people. It has been a massive year, and people across the globe are ready to end the year and start a new one. They want to turn the page over in the book. They want a fresh start. But will it be any different this year? The fact is, the year will click over to a new year. And it's a very important time of the year. Because you see, most people want to say goodbye to this crazy year. And I say the opposite. We should use this year as a learning where we have all been challenged and have had change thrown in our face. That's right. We didn't want it. We didn't expect it. But it was thrown at us. And we had to take it on head on. I think it's a great time for us to reflect on the year. I always do a reflection exercise at the end of each year. And I want to use the year as a platform to build on and learn from. And I ask myself, and I always do this with my coaching clients as well, I ask 3 simple but powerful questions. I ask them around the following 2 areas: the year overall, and number 2, the goals they had for the year. And there are 3 reflection questions that I ask, and as I mentioned before. Number 1, what went well? Number 2, what could you have done better? And number 3, what will you now do differently going forward? And I asked those around those 2 different areas, the year overall, but also the goals for the year. The holiday period is a great time to do some things. Personally, I like to take this time of year out as it's a summer break for us in this part of the world, and we tend to have 2 to 3 weeks off over the Christmas New Year period. It's a logical time to end one year, of course, and then start the next one. So as I go on holiday break, I'm sort of ending the year on a holiday and starting the year on a holiday, but I don't want to be on holiday the whole time. And what do I mean by that? Well, for a lot of people, they're on holiday and they need to have a break. Yeah, we all need to have a break, especially this year, right? But It's really important that we do that. But it's what you do with the time that's really important as well. You see, I think there are three main things that I do throughout this period of time. Have a break, so I turn off from emails, work, etc. I reflect on the year and then set goals for the year ahead. And then sometimes I also do what I call personal development. So this sets me up beautifully for the year ahead. In fact, I like to finish the year that's ahead before I start the year. I like to finish the year ahead before I start the year. In other words, the vision is set. I've set it in my mind, and then I go and put it in place. All right, so let's look at these three areas as part of your setting up your year for success. Number one was having a break. People are tired, and it's been a massive year for them, and they're physically, mentally, and emotionally tired. So it's time to relax and recharge. Sleeping a lot. I noticed that I've been having sleeps throughout the day, and so just taking time out to recharge my batteries, recharge and relax. But then getting out for nice walks and doing activities, time spent with family and friends. But it is really a time for me to start becoming match fit, exercise-wise, mentally, emotionally, but the exercise is, of course, with the physical side of things too. So it's time to get match fit. It's time whereby I start preparing and putting in the foundation for the year ahead. Number two, so number one was have a break. Number two was reflect on the year and set the goals for the new year. So take time out to reflect and learn from the year, as I said before, but also use the time to set goals for the year ahead. See, most people don't set goals, and those that do think about it, a lot of them don't even write them down. Some set New Year resolutions. You might be one of these people. You set a brand new New Year's resolution, and by January the 2nd, they've already given up. Yep, that's right, they've already quit. Well, that one didn't last very long, did it? Well, it lasted 2 days, but So we're not talking about New Year resolutions. I'm talking about setting goals. Now, some go on holiday for all of January, and some just go on for a couple of weeks. And so for some of the people who go on holiday for all of January, it's not until the end of January or February they start to set their goals, and they don't get momentum until March. In other words, they've almost already lost a whole quarter of the year. Don't get me wrong, we need to take breaks as well and set goals in various areas of our life. So what I'd like you to do is to start thinking about those different areas of your life and look to set 3 to 5 main goals. As too many goals and setting those, you'll end up achieving nothing. So keep it simple, keep it to 3 to 5 main goals overall. Goal setting is one thing, but goal achieving is the key. So number one, as I said, was for you to take a break. Number two was to reflect on the year and set goals for the new year. Number three, personal development. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, it's actually a great time to do some personal development because you see, you've got downtime. We're away from the hustle and bustle of our daily lives. And what do I mean by personal development? Well, this is part of the match fit as well, about you getting ready to be match fit. And that is starting to get you into situations whereby you're going to be better equipped for different scenarios. Online courses could be one of those things that you might look at. Reading books, reading white papers, reading articles, listening to audiobooks, listening to podcasts. There are some great examples for you to start learning. Here's another one. If you've got a LinkedIn account and you have a premium account, then you have access to LinkedIn Learning, which is free, part of your package. If you have a basic account, then you'll have to actually look at paying for LinkedIn Learning. But LinkedIn Learning's got some great training on there. There are other organizations that have some really good training as well. But take some time out. I'm not talking about 8 hours a day, and I'm not talking about 20 hours a day. I'm talking about maybe 1, 2 hours a day that you're taking time out to probably start to personally develop yourself and prepare yourself for the future. Now, there's nothing wrong with grabbing a fiction book as well and taking time out to read that fiction book and just relaxing. Whether it's in the snow in the winter, beside the fire, or whether it's in the beach or near a barbecue here in this part of the world in the summer. So team, today in summary, this year has been difficult. Some have struggled with the pandemic and some businesses have struggled. Others have thrived and boomed in this midst of ambiguity and chaos. Whatever your situation is, the important thing is to reflect and learn from this year and then move forward into the new year. I want to just summarize on what we covered off today. Number one is have a wonderful holiday season with your family and friends. And that's this period of time right now. Number two, reflect on the year with those three powerful questions that I talked about. Take a break, rest and recharge. Set your goals. Not only set them, but write them down, put a date beside them. Maybe even set them, put them aside, come back to them 2 or 3 days later, review them again to see if they're spot on for what you want. And number 5 is personal development. Many of you will be excited about moving forward into the new year. Many of you may have already set your goals, but others may not have yet, but you're about to set your goal. So how will you make the year an awesome one for you? One of your best years yet? When I've had a massive year, it's come down to a couple things. Number one, having a massive why, purpose or passion. Number two is hiring a coach, engaging a coach to work with me. And I know that over the years that I've done that, I've actually seen some really massive results happen for me. It's almost like I've gone to a new level. But I've gone to that new level with purpose and with confidence. So how are you going to do that? What are you going to do to help yourself move forward? If you're wanting to engage a coach to help you to go to new levels, start a new business, get a new job, maybe even look at doing something else differently in your career and in your life, then I'm going to highly recommend and encourage you to start thinking about engaging a coach. Now, make sure you get the right coach for you. Make sure you're getting somebody who's on board with you that's going to help you move forward. Someone who's going to really stretch you. Someone who's going to take you to new levels. You know what, team? I did this several times. And every time that I got a coach, it was amazing to see the things that I ticked off, the things that I did. And you know what? When I work with coaching clients and seeing them, when they come on board at first, they're not sure about some things, but they've got some strong clarity by working with me. Number two, they've gone to set some fantastic goals, but goals that are going to really stretch them. And then the third thing I see with them is that they have that confidence and they have that purpose. So much so that their colleagues, their customers, their stakeholders, their teams are saying to them, what are you on? What are you doing? This is just amazing. And so then they want to be part of that journey as well. It's very attractive. It's a great thing for you to be somebody who knows where they're going, somebody who's striving for something, and somebody who has a strong goal. If you're like that, then that's the kind of people want to be around. That's the kind of person they want to be around. That's the kind of person that they want you to lead, right? So you're the kind of person they want to have as a leader to help lead them going forward. So what can you do, team? What can you do as an individual now? Because you see, yes, there's been a very difficult year for all of us. Will it change by one day? Well, I tell you what, we're going to change over. We're going to turn the leaf over in the book, right? We're going to turn the page over in the book. We're going to get a brand new book. We're starting underway. It brings in a whole lot of different positiveness, a whole lot of different way we look at things. Does it mean it's going to be easier? No. We're probably going to be challenged and throwing a whole lot of other stuff at us as well. But it's what are we doing to prepare for that? How are we going to hold ourselves up? What are we going to do to keep staying resilient and moving forward and being able to move with the change when we need to? Because if you can move with that change, just imagine what you can achieve. Next year, the year ahead of you right now, just a few days away, could be the biggest year for you in your life and your business. Massive. Just imagine what you could do. I think there'll be people listening to this podcast now who have been wanting to do something for a while and they haven't done it. Well, now's your time. I'm here to tell you that it's now your time, and I'm here to tell you that I'm here to help you. If you want to reach out to me, to help you and have that conversation at least and talk about where you want to go and get a little bit of clarity, but also talk about myself as your coach going forward, just know that I've got a few spots available and that I want to help you. I want to help stretch you, I want to hold you accountable, I want to help challenge you, but I'm going to help you support you as well in a way that's going to help you move forward in a constructive way to levels that you've never been before. Just imagine what your business would look like. Just imagine what your leadership presence, your executive presence would look like after working with me as your coach. Team, I wish you and your loved ones an awesome year ahead. May it be filled with health, love, and lots of success. But you know what, team? If you're happy and you're out there doing things and you've set your goals and you know where you're going, you're going to be a way better person to be around. And people want to be around you. You're going to be a lot happier yourself. Think about it. If there's something I can do to help you, then feel free to reach out to me anytime. My email is going to be in the show notes, but I'm also going to have, I'm going to share it with you very soon. Because you see, what we as leaders know to be true is that change is constant. Change is incredibly scary, especially with the unknown, the unfamiliar territory. It's time to adapt in our fast-moving world when leadership is changing. That's why setting goals is going to be really important for you. That's why you need to adapt now. You need to go for it now. Now's the time. So look out for the episodes as they've been released. Download them, have a listen, put a review, put a rating, share them with your family, your friends, your network. If there's any feedback you'd like to give me on the show, or if there's a question you have for me for my guests as I interview them, or if you have a question for the Ask Denis episode, then feel free to reach out to me by sending an email, dennis@leadingchangepartners.com, and I look forward to hearing from you. Hey team, have an awesome holiday season, and we look forward to talking to you soon. Happy goal setting. Until next time, bye for now.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Leadership is Changing with your host, Denis Giannoutsas. Each week, we and our guests provide information and insights through exploring leading change, inspiring executives and leaders to adapt and lead a bigger game in a fast-moving world.